Hi, everybody. I want to talk about the benefits of being scapegoated. And this video was inspired by, again, my recent interaction with a covert narcissist and how I was able to diagnose this narcissist incredibly fast. And I give myself a lot of props, give this community a lot of props for teaching me what to look for. And I think that when person first comes out of the fog of being around these people and attracting these people, they're very disoriented and in a state of complete and total panic, and they can't find anything positive in this experience. They can't see why they've suffered so much and lost so much, and they can't see the benefit of coming through this hellfire of marriage, of a familial relationship, and whatnot. And I'm not taking away that disillusionment from them. I feel that this is an incredibly disillusioning experience, incredibly saddening experience, because the the idea that the human race has is subsumed by these people a lot of the time, is controlled by these people a lot of the time, that many things that humans hold are commonplace in our existence, like the media and politics and popular culture even, are tainted by these forces. It's an incredibly bewildering and disorienting and saddening experience. And I'm not trying to take away from that because it's very real. It would be spectacular if we were able to live in a humane society where everybody had values and principles and everybody could trust one another from the get-go. It would be beautiful. I really believe that humanity needs to go in that direction somehow, some way. And in my quest to expose these people, it's my small way of trying to veer people in that direction. And so today I'm going to talk about the benefits of being scapegoated. Why I believe that after all of this turmoil that you've gone through, the suffering of discovering these people, then having to go no contact with them, having to file the appropriate restraining orders and go to the proper police precinct, etc. After all of that, why I think that it's a great opportunity to be a scapegoat of these people when all is said and done. Now, I believe that pain, emotional pain, depression, and sadness is a warning sign. And I believe that anxiety, all of this stuff that we experience as targets of these people, is designed to basically understand that we are in a dangerous situation, that we never should return to that dangerous situation. Because if we didn't feel sad, anxious, depressed, and vulnerable after these relationships, then we wouldn't really understand that this is something that we have to keep away from. So congratulations on surviving one of the worst experiences on a psychological level that you could have been put through. I really believe that it's right up there, being in a horrible relationship like this. Now, how does it make you ultimately stronger though? Is what I'm trying to answer here. I believe that scapegoats of narcissistic families are incredibly adept at human psychology. Our natural psychologists are incredibly intuitive. As they grow older and gain more wisdom, they're able to decipher people's motives with much more facility than people that haven't gone through these relationships. The fact that you are able to see and to diagnose cluster Bs is amazing in and of itself. The fact that you can pinpoint who's creating the friction within a social context is in and of itself a remarkable skill. The problem is, a lot of the times, we cannot put that skill to a practical use. We can't leverage it to our favor. And how do we start leveraging it to our favor? First of all, removing yourself from these environments is already leveraging it to your favor, because when you become autonomous free of these environments, you become a more autonomous human being. You see more creatively. You see the world of possibilities that's in front of you, and it's almost as if you see that a lot of people in the world are infected by this, enchained to these people, but you're free. But you're outside of that circle. So that's one advantage of the scapegoat, is that they have the possibility of truly creating an autonomous life that is free from these kind of delusions and free from this Wizard of Oz hierarchy that the narcissist often creates around himself or herself. And I believe a lot of people understand intuitively and instinctively that there is something wrong with these people. They may avoid them, but a lot of the times they give these people their trust, whereas you, understanding their motives, understand exactly why you cannot trust them. So, for example, a lot of people watch Dr. Phil or watch Emmett Oz or watch these televised people that clearly have, Nancy Grace is another one, that clearly have cluster B traits, that are prone to scandal, that are prone to creating friction around these stories and being sensationalist. And you understand exactly what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how they're doing it, which makes you wiser than the average person who hasn't gone through this. You understand how the media functions to make people addicted to it. You understand the mechanics of that. And I really recommend that after you've completely thrown out these people out of your life and sanitize your life from them, that you stop watching television, that you stop watching the media. Because I've found that the more I watch media, the more I watch TV after this experience, the sicker I become, you know? And that's a symptom of traumatic stress in a way, but it's also just a symptom of my understanding that I'm falling into a rabbit hole of being, reeled in by scandal and sensationalism. So I believe that scapegoatism is an opportunity to give priority to what you think is important. And the reason why people that are narcissistic have scapegoated you is because they've understood that sooner or later you're not going to fall for their bullshit anymore. That you're smart enough to see through their bullshit. And that is credit to you. That means that you are much wiser than the people that are still in their social circles. And I've only seen that through time, through understanding why these people discarded me. It's because I'm too smart for them. I'm too intelligent to go on this ride with them. And I don't see anything bad about that. In fact, I see it as a great it's a great compliment to me as a person. And it's a great compliment to the rest of you, because narcissists don't keep around people that think freely, that think critically. And kudos to you for being scapegoated, because that means that you have autonomy and you have the possibility to become more and more autonomous, to have a louder voice, and to really express your soul in a way that most people will never be able to do in this lifetime. How many people are shackled by this kind of Wizard of Oz-esque understanding of life? You know, they go to school, they get their degrees, they work at a job that they don't like, they buy the appropriate cars, they buy the appropriate houses to impress other people that are faceless, that don't care about them necessarily. And you've seen through that sort of masquerade that a lot of people live in. And I believe that scapegoats are truly liberated. They've liberated themselves. It came at a huge cost to them personally, maybe, on a social level. But I think that in the end, it's a blessing in disguise that these people removed you from their life. Because they removed you from their life because you didn't feed their mental illness, essentially. And it doesn't even matter if the rest of society can't see that mental illness. You've seen it on a very personal level. And in subtle ways, people that are in the narcissist circle will be affected by that mental illness. They may not be able to completely understand how they're affected or impacted by it, but at the end of the day, they are. And because this has come at such a huge cost to you, you will never give narcissists their due, their undue respect. That's the bottom line. So, go forward with courage. Go forward with your new wisdom. And it's a blessing to be a scapegoat, because that means that you have a value that is beyond the average person's value. You were able to stand alone against insanity and against something that most people don't even think twice about, but are enslaved by, essentially. Anyway, think about it. Kisses.